Hi, I'm Ben from Singletrack magazine and I'm here with the new Santa Cruz Heckler. Now, some of you will know the Heckler has been in the Santa Cruz's lineup for an awful long time, all the way since 1996, when it was a 26-inch wheel, non-electric, 100mm full suspension trail bike made from aluminium. And they kept that in the range over the years. There's always been a single pivot 26-inch wheel bike, then it went to 27.5, but then in 2016 they moved away from single pivot bikes altogether and put everything in to their VPP platform. The Heckler was no more. And then it came back in early 2020 as an e-bike, a 150mm carbon cc e-bike that was promoted and explained as being the electric version of their very, very popular Bronson bike. The Mark I electric Heckler, as we'll call it, had a Shimano Steps E8000 system, a 504 watt battery. It was 150mm travel, 27.5-inch wheel, and then they brought out a mullet version of that as an option. And then around about that time as well, they brought out the Santa Cruz Bullet, which is another iconic single pivot name from their back catalogue, and made an electric one of those. Now that is the longer travel, 170mm mixed wheel only bike with the Shimano EP8 motor and a 630 watt-hour battery. And now the next e-bike to come along is this one, the Mark II Heckler, and let's have a look how that fits in. The Mark II Heckler is still a 150mm travel e-bike, but now it has 29-inch wheels front and rear, or it can be a mullet, or you're on the very small size, it is 27.5. And the motor has gone from an E8000 to the Shimano EP8. The Heckler we have here is their top-end Heckler X01 AXS RSV, and it comes in this Heckler CC carbon. Unlike the previous Heckler, you will be able to get slightly more affordable ones in their carbon C versions. It will come as no surprise to see the Shimano EP8 motor fitted to the new Heckler. Kicks out 85 Nm of power. What you may not be expecting is the use of a non-Shimano battery. Inside here is a bigger battery than Shimano currently offer, and that's 720 watt-hours, and that is still going to be covered by warranties and still works perfectly well with Shimano's system. Santa Cruz have felt the pulse of the e-bike market and have observed, like us, that the scene is dividing into two clear segments: lighter weight, lower power e-bikes and full fat e-bikes with big as possible batteries. The Heckler fits squarely into the latter category. Now, the battery fits inside the down tube and is removable for more convenient charging. All you need is a 4mm Allen key in there. Regarding the Shimano EP8 itself, it's worth pointing out that the system comes pre-tweaked by Santa Cruz. Instead of coming set up with the usual Shimano presets, the Heckler comes with a setting that Santa Cruz prefers. Essentially, Santa Cruz felt that Shimano's preset trail mode was a bit too close to the boost mode. The two issues here being that this kind of eats up more power, as well as making boost feel rather unimpressive when you go to it. The idea of Santa Cruz's setting is to have the trail that's kind of strong enough and boost feeling like boost. Having ridden the Heckler, we have to admit that we think Santa Cruz have it right. Obviously, if you disagree or you have your own ideas, you can just fire up the Shimano eTube app and set things how you want them. And now, onto the geometry. The head angle is 64.5, the seat angle is 76.7 degrees, the reach on this extra large is 492. There is a flip chip in the rocker that changes it by not very much. I'm just giving you the low setting numbers because I think that's what everyone's going to really use the bike in. The chainstays have grown quite a bit from the previous Heckler. They used to be 445mm, the new one is 461. It's this chainstay measurement that is going to differentiate the new Heckler from the Bullet, much more than any kind of difference in suspension travel. The Bullet is always going to be kept as their wheelie, manually playy, mess abouty kind of bike. It's got a bit more travel, but it's more about that the Heckler's much more for doing mileage. The Mark II Heckler is arguably better thought of as the electric version of the Santa Cruz Hightower, a high mileage machine that can still handle the fun tracks and dominate those technical ascents that are much more fun on an electric bike. What else is new? The head tube's got a bit shorter, again, this is to help its considerable prowess when going uphill. The shock tunnel is a bit wider. This makes it accommodate all different types of shocks, different piggyback shocks. It will accept a coil as well. Compared to their non-assisted bikes, Santa Cruz's e-bikes have been beefed up in things like the pivot inserts and the radial bearings. They're a lot chunkier and a lot beefier to help cope with the extra weight of an e-bike. The suspension kinematic, the VPP, is also quite a bit different to the non-electric Santa Cruz's. There's much less anti-squat. Obviously the fact you have a motor means you can trade in some pedal efficiency in exchange for some extra suspension grip. With a more supple suspension, longer chainstays, longer reach and lower front end, the new Heckler is by far the most capable technical climbing bike Santa Cruz have made, electric or otherwise. Okay, let's delve into the spec sheet of this Heckler CC X01 AXS RSV. The frame on this is full carbon and it's Santa Cruz's top-end CC carbon. CC carbon promises no voids anywhere, and it also does away with having to bond things like brake mounts to it after the fact. A little bit lighter, a little bit stiffer, a lot more reliable. The rear shock is a RockShox Super Deluxe Ultimate, delivering 150mm travel via the latest low linkage iteration of VPP. There's a Fox 36 Float factory E-Tune fork up front with 160mm travel. Wireless 12-speed SRAM X01 AXS Eagle bits. The dropper post on this XL is a 200mm travel Fox transfer factory. The wheels are Santa Cruz's Reserve Carbon 30 front and DH rear with Industry 9 hubs. The tyres are the industry standard Maxxis Assegai and Maxxis Minion DHR2. One little thing that is easy to miss because you can't see it is the handlebars that have the wires going from the controller under the grip inside the handlebar, and they pop out at the control unit at the front. So very neat. Onto the weight, this extra large version comes in at 22.9 kilograms. Because it's easy to do so, we dropped the battery out and weighed that on its own, and that was 3.9 kilograms. If you head on over to Singletrack World, you can read my full review of this bike right now.